Now my baby toy has a hat. Now this hat is detachable. If you can see, I have the black thread of the eyes right here. So this is detachable. I can always open it up and then close it. And the best thing about detachable hats is that it fits beautifully, so you don't have to worry about it coming off. Unless and until you take it out, it's not going to drop down. Like if you see, if I can just drop it down, it's not going to fall. But sometimes what happens is, while playing, the baby might lose the hat. So if you want, you can stitch it up, but I'm going to now show you how you can make this crochet hat that will fit exactly the baby boy's head. But if you want, you can do it in a single color. If you want, you can do it in 2 different colors, 3 different colors, totally up to you, completely up to you. But I'm going to make my hat detachable because I want to make several colors of hat, because it's the maximum part of the toy. So this is the beauty of the toy. So I want it to be of different colors, so I'm going to make it detachable. If you don't want it to be detachable, if you want it to be fixed on the baby, then I would recommend, after making the hat, take a thread, a sewing thread, and then just sew around the rim of the hat, or over here the rim of the hat, along with the toy. That will take a little bit of more time. If you want, you can also glue the whole of the hat, and then just put this inside. It's going to stay, but that is not a permanent solution. You need to stitch the hat to the baby toy. So that is completely optional. In this video, we are not going to follow the basic sewing part. So I'm now going to show you how you can make this very pretty hat. Making the hat is pretty basic. If you know how to do the head, or you know how to stitch the head, it's just a pattern which is used halfway. Like the head's pattern is like full. We increased from here till here, and then we continued with the same number of stitches, and then we decreased. The hat is exactly done the same way. It's just that the hat is done halfway across. It has not been completed. So we're going to continue doing it. You will need your stitch marker. So now we'll start with, a magic circle. If you're not comfortable with magic circles, the best thing that I can tell you, that is an alternative, is you can chain 2, and then into the first chain you're going to do 6 single crochet. It works the same way, but because I like to do it the magic circle way, so I'm going to continue with that. So making the magic circle, chain 1, and then place 6 single crochets into the loop. Now here I can tell you, working with this yarn is really a commendable experience, because it's so soft and very, very I don't know how to explain. It's very amazing to use this yarn. I've used a great number of cotton yarns, but this is absolutely fantastic. So now into the very first chain, or the first single crochet, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So 12 on top of 6. If you have done the head of the toy, it's going to be really easy for you to make the hat. Into the next stitch, 2 single crochets. If you want, you can add your stitch marker, but because I'm comfortable doing it this way, so I'm going to continue doing 12 single crochets, 2 on top of 1, and I'm going to meet you at the end. At this point here, I'm going to place my marker onto the last stitch, and then I'm going to increase by 1 stitch, or 6 stitches. So this was like 12 stitches. We're going to make it into 18. So in the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 into the first stitch. I'm going to do a single crochet, and then into the next stitch I'm going to make 2 single crochets. Into the next stitch, 1 single crochet, and into the next stitch, 2 single crochet. And while you're doing this, at the end of the marker onto the stitch of the marker, you're going to have 2 single crochet, and at the end you're going to have 18 stitches. Now I have my stitch marker on and I have 18 stitches, so I'm going to increase by 6 more stitches, which means that I'm going to single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Single crochet into the next one, single crochet into the next one, 2 single crochet into the next one. Continue doing this all the way across. At the end of the round, on the stitch marker stitch, you're going to have 2 single crochet, and at the very end you're going to have 24 stitches. In the next row, we're going to add 6 more stitches, so we're going to increase by 6 stitches. So again, we're going to single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, which means that we are doing 1, 2, and 3 single crochets onto each stitches, and onto the 4th one add 2 single crochet. So this will give us an increase of 6 stitches. At the end of the round, you're going to have 2 single crochets on top of the stitch marker, and at the very end of the round you're going to get 30 stitches. If this would have been the head of the toy, we would have stopped here, but because this is a hat, we need to make it bigger than the head, so we're going to continue increasing one more round. So we have 30 stitches here, which means by adding 6 into the round we're going to have 36, which means that we're going to now single crochet into the next one, 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 and then 2 single crochets into the next one. So now what we're doing is 4 single crochets and a double, 4 double. At the end of the round you're going to have 2 single crochets onto the stitch marker stitch, and you're going to have 36. So at this point here I have 36 stitches, so I'm going to continue for the next 3 to 4 rounds. I'm going to continue with the same 36, which means that 1 single crochet onto each of your single crochets for 4 rounds. You continue doing that and I'll meet you at the end. Now after finishing those 4 rows of 36 stitches, this is what I get. It's a cup kind of a thing. So I'm going to take my head and check if it's fitting. Yes, it fits beautifully. So I'm going to stop with pink right here. I'm going to continue with 2 or maybe 3 more rows with orange. So I want it to be beautifully colored and I want it to be colorful. So you stop here with the same 36 number of stitches you're going to do, or you can just continue with pink. It's totally up to you. I'm going to change my color and carry on with orange with 3 more rounds, completing the same of 36 stitches. Now one thing I want to tell you here, with this one what I did was I used a smaller thread. I used anchor knitting cotton in size 10 onto this one. If you want you can do it, it doesn't matter. It gives it a good fitting to the head. But what I marked was, when I was doing this, it was really loose on this head. So every thread has a different width and a different texture to it, so you make sure that whatever you're doing, it should be fitting the head. Every time you're doing it, make sure that it fits to the head that you made. So continue with the same and I'll meet you, and then I'll show you the next parts of the of the toy. So we're gonna do it in the later videos. Okay, so this is how my hat turned out to be. There's of course detachable, so I have made it this fitting exactly my head. Okay, so now let's get over to the other videos. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you how we can attach this to this so that we can complete our toy. So let me just thread this and come back. Alrighty, so just like we joined this part to here, exactly in the same way you're going to join this to this. It's very easy. You just need to add this part to here. If you want, you can always glue this to here and then stitch it up. It gives it a little bit more strength and definition, but in the video itself I'm just going to show you how you can attach it. So I'm going to go underneath this piece, pull it tight, onto the other side. I'm going to repeat the exact same way. See? Whichever way is easier for you to stitch, you do that. Stitch it up, but make sure that it's sturdy, because this is the point in the toy or the rattle toy where it tends to move in this way. We don't want that. We want it to be sturdy, exactly like this one. Now I'm going to continue sewing process, and I will just thread this out. I'll cut it off and I'll show you how it looks. Alrighty, so now I have my little rattle toy ready. If you see, it has a beautiful noise which is very attractive, and you can just look how beautiful it looks. So colorful and pretty. And if you see that we have our Indian flag colors all lined up in this toy. So this is the one that I made for the sample, and this is the one that I made here. You can make it in any color. I mean, the rings are so it has such good finishing. You don't need to worry about your baby's hand cutting off, because sometimes acrylic rings work that way, and these are like so squishy and soft. I don't have a rattle into this one, but this is the one that I made the rattle. So it's really pretty. Both of them look so beautiful. I mean, you can make it in any color. And the yarn, guys, the yarn is so nice. If you want, you can check it out in their page. It's a brand new launch, so it's really fun. And look at the hats. You can make different colors of hats and make them make the baby toys wear. You can add ears here, or you can add hair over here. Just customize it according to your liking. I hope that the video series was helpful to you guys. I hope that you got to learn something new. And if you have any doubts regarding the videos, you can always put a comment in the description box below, and I will be there to help you guys. If not me, then maybe Pradhan Embroidery stores will definitely help you out. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching and be a part of this cal, and I'll see you in the next maybe next cal or something. Thank you so much. Bye.